Well, it has definitely been a wild roller coaster of an afternoon. It's about 1:50 p.m. Central Standard Time right now, and we just had the conclusion of the FOMC meeting, and we got exactly what we expected, a 25 basis point decrease. But what Jerome Powell said following that definitely caused a little bit of stir in the markets, and we're dealing with the wild ride of that right now, and I'm curious to see where things end up following this. But I will say, there is something happening right now that is definitely worth paying attention to, where altcoins are continuing to stay strong versus BTC. So we'll discuss all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So sitting right now at about, again, 1:50 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are seeing ADA at about 86 cents. We're seeing a lot of red across the crypto space, but that was not where we were at about an hour ago. About an hour ago, you guys can see ADA was actually up at about 88 cents or so, looking pretty good. And this is exactly what we were talking about. The interest rate decrease of 25 basis points was not priced in, and because of that, the market started to surge. At that time, even if we look at the shorter term timeframes, you guys can see we had some wild ups and downs, but the market reacted very positively to these interest rate decreases. In fact, this is exactly what brought us back up to about 88 cents. But then Jerome Powell started speaking, and of course, this was the big thing that caused the stir that we're seeing right now in terms of price. He said the Federal Reserve doesn't feel the need to move quickly on interest rate cuts. That is despite the jobs market looking like absolute crap lately, and inflation staying somewhat stagnant. And that is a problem. Again, the Fed is just a little bit too slow to react here. And so because of that, they're dragging their feet. Now, here's the thing. We have our next interest rate decrease come the end of October. And by that time, I think we're going to feel more impact in the jobs market by that time. I think spending is going to slow down. And because of that, we're going to probably see inflation still somewhat stagnant. And that is going to, I think, accelerate things for the Fed. I think at that point, we have likelihood of probably a 50 basis point decrease. We'll see what happens there. But what I found very interesting about this move is ADA is really doing not a whole lot different than it's done the last few days, but BTC is actually dropping down to support here. And because of this, we are actually seeing BTC dominance start to print a little bit of a red day where it had in fact been green. And what I think is very interesting about this is that altcoins are showing significant resilience at this time. So first of all, this is actually confirming basically phase 2, like we've been discussing, which is a crucial part of us getting to a technical alt season, but also our historic up only seasons that we see. But because you have these blue chip assets actually holding strength versus BTC, it's a very promising sign for what comes next, because this is exactly what can trigger that rotation we have been discussing time and time again. Now, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. And again, right now at the time of filming this video, like I said, it's before 2 o'clock. This video is going to come out at about 3:30 p.m. CST, and we'll see where the market is deciding to head by that point. But it truly feels like we're dealing with a lot of the manipulation in the market. We had some very wild swings over that period of time. We wiped out both longs and shorts along the way. And so it almost feels like we're going to get back to more of a place of the organic nature in the market. And what I mean by that is we will be driven more by what retail and institutional money is doing, rather than what the market makers are dictating for the market here. So we don't have a whole lot going on over the next few weeks. I'm expecting still a pretty strong close to the month of September. I do want to remind everybody in terms of ADA here too, we are actually capping off on, not even capping off yet. It's the 17th. We have 2 weeks left, but we're still in a green month here in September. There is a very distinct trend over the course of the last 6 months or so. Despite having that red month in June, you can see the trend is still very much up and to the right. And it seems like we're accelerating in towards a very positive Q4. And we'll see what happens here. Again, there's a lot of time left in the day. There's a lot of volatility that we still have to deal with. I will say, I bet you we're up about 160. Yeah, there it is, 160 billion. So we've seen about a $30 billion surge in volume today. I doubt that is over. It's probably going to keep rising as the day progresses, but that's kind of where we're at now. I wish they would have done a 50 basis point decrease and liquidated a bunch of shorts on the way to the upside, but you can't always get what you want. The Fed always seems to be right in line with what they have been doing, just kind of late to everything. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear if you think that things are going to continue progressing on the red note that we're starting to see over this last hour, or if they're going to turn around and start moving back to the upside. I think if we hold these ranges for the next, I'd say probably 12 hours or so, I would expect to start to see some upside, some bounce from here, but we'll see what happens. So have a great day. Share your love below. Let me know your thoughts. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.